Hey there, my friend, it's Dr. A from the Fit Mother Project. Welcome to today's video where we're gonna talk about one of my personal favorite all-time best back exercises for moms, for women, for people who wanna get stronger. And we've all seen a lady who has just like a really strong back, nice toned arms. How do we get that? Well, we need to build some muscle and we need to do the kind of back motions that actually work. And there are two planes that you can train your back in. The first is vertical pulling. These are things like lat pull downs, chin ups, pull ups. The other one is horizontal pulling. We're pulling things towards the body. Today we're going to talk about horizontal pulling, aka rowing. It's essential. And what's so cool about this is there's lots of fancy ways you can row. Like if you go to a commercial gym, there's probably like 3 or 4 different rowing machines. There's the cable row, there's the machine row and all of that. I think dumbbells and kettlebells are probably the most effective way to do this. You get to use gravity and you get to use a couple key form points that we're gonna cover today to get an amazing exercise. And when we're pulling on the back, we're working on the entire posterior chain, including glutes and hammies and your arms and your whole backside. So we have our lovely coach Kat here. She's gonna be demonstrating these for us and doing a ton of reps, and we're gonna go over some form points. So Kat, please grab your dumbbells and let's get set up for the bent over 2-arm dumbbell row. So like all good exercises, it starts with a solid stance, getting your feet wherever you feel comfortable. And for Kat, it's roughly around shoulder width, which is a good place for most people to start. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna initiate the hip hinge. So hinge at the hip. So go ahead, Kat, until you feel like your glutes and your hammies are loaded. So we're gonna have her in this first version, roughly at around this 45. This is where we wanna be. Be a tiny bit lower, Kat, so maybe right around here. Now what she's gonna do is initiate the pull by pulling her scapulas and her arms back and getting that good squeeze and lowering it right on down. So keep on doing a couple reps and we'll go ahead and talk about some of the key form points here. The reason I love this exercise is because right now, Kat is literally loading her entire back side. The middle of her back is working, her low back is working, her glutes and hammies are working, and she's pulling. And as she's pulling, you're thinking of your arms as they're cables. And you're not trying to pull with your arms, you're using them like cables pulling from the back. So the mind-muscle connection with this exercise is everything. It's a way of basically saying your brain's communicating, I'm pulling from these back muscles. The arms are like hooks and pulling and squeezing. And the intention at the top as she goes to pause for a second, and the lower is key. Now, how do you breathe during this exercise? Well, what you like to do is exhale on the way up, inhale on the way back down. Exhale, squeeze, inhale, expand. Now, there's another version of this that is not as taxing on your glutes and hammies, and this is where Kat's actually gonna allow her back to break even lower and get a little more parallel towards the floor. When I'm parallel here, I'm feeling my glutes, but I'm not feeling as much action in my spinal erectors up here. I'm kind of like this. If you row like this, so go ahead and do some rows in this parallel position, so you can see how she's in a different position, you're gonna target a little more of the upper back. So go ahead and row, pull, good. You're gonna feel like a lot more upper back activation in the scapula. And it's a good variety to play around with both. You know, one's not right, the other one's not wrong. It's just like a good way to play with both. Now you can also play around with your arm position. Kat is choosing to have this pronated to overhand, but she could also do it like this. And you just gotta find what feels good for your shoulder anatomy, how you feel your back the most. But I think in this motion, what I'd cue Kat on is feeling like she's pulling from strings on the back of her elbows and squeezing that back and coming on up. So this is an amazing exercise. We'll give you a break, Kat. And we're gonna talk about one other version. How to train this, what are the reps and sets? Well, I think this is a staple of any time you're doing either upper body training or back training. This is definitely more effective because it's a whole body motion than doing something like getting on the bench and doing just like one arm bracing and one arm row. Yes, that's isolating the lat. It's a good exercise. It's not terrible, but imagine loading your entire spine, everything together and having this synchronized motion with heavy weight. It's a lot more effective than even doing a single arm bench row. I like to train this, 3 to 4 sets is a great thing per workout. And you can do this kind of heavy in the 6 to 10 range. You can, as you're learning the form, you can even go higher up to 15 reps to focus on your breathing and build your mind-muscle connection. Now, one more advanced variation after you've gotten good at doing some of these with the 2 dumbbells, we're gonna give Kat a single kettlebell. And she's gonna do a row with just one of these. And what this is gonna do is be a little more of a core exercise as well as a back one. So I'll have you use it in one hand. We'll have it, put it in that hand, exactly. So hinge it, we're gonna have a slightly more narrow than shoulder width stance, so give it a tiny bit more narrow, Kat. That's probably fine. Now come hinge at the hip, brace the core. So I want you to focus on keeping your back nice and flat through all this. Now row up and keep that core tight. So the 2 points Kat's focusing on is obviously the row side, but also the contralateral oblique. So she's focusing on this side of the core and that, because we're creating this dynamic instability by only loading on one side. This would be like a nice finishing exercise, and I love the kettlebell for this because it's just so natural to like get that. And at the top, she can even do a little bit of an exaggerated pause and a slight twist to activate the back even more. Cat, switch arms, and we'll keep on going. So now in this instance, you can even put your hand on that. So put your hand on that. It's sometimes helpful to feel as you're doing the row, actually put a little mind muscle connection right there wherever she feels like she needs to be active. Really, really good exercise, a nice variety. And I would say, this does not replace the 2-arm dumbbell variety that we started with. This is more of like a finisher that you might want to do, and you can do it with a kettlebell or a dumbbell. And I'd say shoot for 10 reps, see how it feels. Work on your core and the connection with your back. So, nice. Getting that little back pump in. That is our rowing tutorial video. Hope you found this valuable, my friend. Thank you for being here. We are shooting an entire series on amazing exercises for busy moms. So if you want more of this and you want to check out the other videos in this series, check the description. We have a lot of great stuff coming to the channel. And if you're not subscribed to Fit Mother Project YouTube channel yet, what are you doing? We have so many amazing videos, literally hundreds. Obviously exercise stuff, but also nutrition, mindset, motivational stories. Our entire team here is to help you as a busy mom age well in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. Reach your goal weight and set a good example for your family. So we are doing this here on the channel. Come join our family here. And of course, if you want more direct help from me, from Coach Kat, and the rest of our team, join our email list by getting our free Fit Mom Jumpstart. We'll send you our free workout and our free one-day meal plan. We'll show you our philosophy of how fit moms live. And I know you're gonna absolutely love that and get a ton of value. We'll send that straight to your email. Also links in the description and the comments below. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Coach Kat. We'll talk to you guys very soon.